Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to Pretty Powerful Pandas, a mini-series where I'll walk you through the most useful, elegant lines of code in Pandas, whether you're just starting out or you want to level up your data game. Hi, and welcome back to our very final episode of Pretty Powerful Pandas. And today what we are going to do is look how we can take all of that data that we've been cleaning and transforming and manipulating and turn it into something that makes sense to other people. So it's all about storytelling today. So we're going to take all the information and we're going to add some visuals, and that's when insights really click, especially for other people, especially if you're presenting back to someone who's maybe not in a data team or data adjacent team. For example, if you're presenting to clients or managers or anyone, it's kind of taking all the information you've got and making it easy to understand. So it's really powerful, especially in a role that I do or anyone in the analytics field does. So Pandas is amazing for getting your data into a position that you can tell a really powerful story. The thing is, Pandas itself doesn't have any visuals, but we don't have to leave Pandas to start plotting. So let's turn we're working with our global superstore data, so we're going to turn that into some visual story. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import something called Matplotlib, and that is our plotting library. We're going to do it as plot plt. Okay, now that's really important. So that's an extra library on top of Pandas that we're going to run, and that helps us visualize things. So Pandas itself doesn't draw the pictures on its own, but it uses this Matplotlib kind of under the hood. But we don't have to switch out context, we don't have to do anything. We literally do all our regular Pandas, and then at the very end we just call our .plot directly in there, and it just works. It's absolutely beautiful. So let's have a little look. Let's take something that we were doing in a previous episode and let's visualize it. So let's look at the average profit by, let's go subcategory, and let's sort it. So sorted. So I'm going to take orders and we're going to group by. I'm going to go subcategory. And then we are going to look at profit. And I'm going to take the mean of this and I'm going to sort values. Now, if we did that, have a little think about that. Oh, orders. Always a classic one. There we go. So I could just do that and it gives me the subcategory. So I've got like all the tables and fasteners and things. So we've kind of done a bit of a pivot here. We've just taken what we want our subcategories and we've taken the profit in this column. We find the mean of that and we've sorted it from smallest to biggest. However, it's all very well seeing it like that, but actually sometimes it's just nice to see a visual. So what we're going to do is .plot, and then within this we are going to tell it what kind of plot. So our kind this time is going to be a bar chart that's horizontal, and then we're going to give it a title just for neatness. So average profit by subcategory. All right, and then this is what we do. We call PLT. Let's call it a tight layout just for neatness. It means it's not all spread all over the place. And then plot.show. So it takes what we had when we just had this. It gave us an output of like a table. And what we've done is we've done a .plot. And we've told it what type of plot. We've given it a little bit of a title. You can obviously build these into really advanced visuals, but we're just going to keep it nice and neat today. I've done a plot tight layout. That's kind of the standard, just to keep it nice and neat. And then we plot.show. And then I run this. And there we go. Look at that. How lovely, how visual, and so much clearer at a glance to see that, you know what, tables are not working. But copiers, appliances, these are the things that are good for us. So really, really simple and quick, you know, so we already had that kind of previous section. So all we're doing is doing a dot plot on top of it and a plot.show, and it comes up like that. How fab. Let's look at one more thing. Let's do a monthly sales trend. So in one of our previous videos, we looked at how we could group by... Ooh, sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time. There we go. In one of our previous videos, we looked at how we could group by date order, dates. And so what we're going to do is look at that. So we're going to do monthly sales. We did orders dot set index. We're going to do it by order date. We're going to resample, and we have to do ME, which this is month end, and then we are going to pivot that so we've got sales as our outcome, and I think we'll do sum of that. So if I ran that, let's see what I would get. No, it doesn't like that. DataFrame is no. Oh, resample. There we go. So what it's done is, you see, it's taken the very end. ME stands for month end. So it's taken the last date of each month and it's summed all the sales, and it's given it as this new title of or order date. We've kind of redone that. Again, you hand that over to your leaders. I'm not sure what they would make of that. They'd have to like really spend some time rifling through and filtering through, and you wouldn't really be able to spot trends, for example. So how about we take this monthly sales, and again we're just going to do dot plot. I'm just going to give it a title here, and our title is going to be monthly sales over time. And then we're going to do the same thing as we did earlier. We're going to do plt dot type plot. Ooh. Type layout, sorry. And then plt dot show. So all I've done is I've added that dot plot extra little bit, and look at that. Oh, now isn't that nice? So that's really clear that we've got a trend line going here, and you can add these things on top of it. You can build, you can get some very elaborate visualizations going on with Matplotlib, and also with some other ones out there. There's Seaborn, and there's loads of other ones. Well, a couple of other ones, but really simply, just by adding a dot plot and a plot.show, we can very clearly see that there are some trends, so that it's almost kind of every, dare I say, the lead into Christmas, that kind of end of summer into winter period, that final third and fourth quarter traditionally, is when these numbers spike each year, with a little bit of an issue there in July in 2014, so that might be something you could want to look into. But overall, the trend is very much increasing, and that very clear visual is much easier to paint a story with than that table that we had previously. So there we go, that's some visuals with some time series, and all we did was dot plot. So the method automatically recognizes that the index is now in a date and gives us a time aware line. So I think it's all fantastic. So why is Pandas so powerful? Well, everything we have done in all our earlier episodes, so all our handling missing data, doing some reshaping, categorizing, cleaning time dates, everything we do is kind of like the basis. Oh my goodness, we've done quite a lot. Right, all the way from the very beginning. All of this is absolutely fantastic lead up into telling a story, especially as a data scientist consultant, where I go in and I support people in companies to figure out what their data is saying. This is a really, really important skill that I need to be able to do. So that is our final episode. From cleaning to clarity, from raw data to insight. And we have done that all with the wonderful pandas. So the next time you need to share some data, some analysis, some insight, remember you're just one dot plot away from a story worth telling. I hope you have enjoyed your time with us at Pretty Powerful Pandas. I've absolutely loved doing this for everyone. I really hope you get some insight out of it. And if that is something you're interested in, kind of developing a little bit more into pandas and Python, there's loads of ways out there to do it. But yeah, if you need any guidance or help, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much. So go and make your pandas pretty powerful. This whole video series actually came about because Datacove as a company actually run a conference, a 3-day conference every year called the EARL Conference, which is the Enterprise Applications of R and Python languages, I should say. And it's an absolutely fantastic opportunity for people to come together and discuss how R and Python could be used to help solve problems in business. But this year, we are incredibly honoured and very, very excited to have the actual Wes McKinney, our principal architect at Posit and the creator of Pandas. You would have seen in a previous video the bonus episode where we actually had a chat with Wes, and he's just super lovely and absolutely fantastic. But yeah, so we have Wes coming to talk and keynote at EARL, and if that is something you're interested in, please make sure you get your tickets, because as of today, the conference is next week. So yeah, it'd be really fabulous to see some people there. Otherwise, yeah, I hope you're really enjoyed the episodes, and I hope you make your pandas pretty powerful.